is buzzing? I know it's my cell phone. I could not tell you where it's at. I do not know where it is. What's going on, you guys? My name is Megan. Welcome to This Past Romance. This is my little corner of the internet to talk to you guys about romance books. Because that's pretty much what I read exclusively. It doesn't look like it from this video that you're getting ready to see, which is this is my June TBR. Number one, can we talk about the fact that it's almost June? I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I am not prepared for it to be June. I'm just not. This year is like simultaneously going so fast and so slow. So it's whatever. We're halfway through the year. I mean, yeah. So what better time than now for me to do a TBR and show you guys what I want to read this month. Quite a bit of it is actually physical, and I was on the phone with Tamika. I was on FaceTime with Tamika, and I was pulling my books from my shelf, and she was like, "Oh my god, you're reading so many physical books." And I was like, yeah, I have a ton. So I have physical books to show you, but I also have two for sure on my Kindle that I want to read, and I'm going to talk about those two first. So the first book that I want to talk about is Marriage and Murder by Reid. I have talked about how much I want to read this book, and I'm afraid that I have built it up in my head and that I'm going to be sorely disappointed in Kiedis and Jen's second book in their spinoff series. If you don't know anything about this, if you're here for some reason and you haven't seen any of my previous videos, 2020 was dominated by a bearded redhead named Kiedis Winston from Reid's Winston Brothers series. His book is book 3, Book Science. He falls in love with a girl named Jennifer in that book. And they have a spin-off series because I guess so many people love Kiedis, it's not just me. And Reid writes a spin-off series. And the spin-off series, book 2 is out. I have read book 1, which was Engagement and Espionage. Book 2 is Marriage and Murder. I'm really excited to read it. I haven't read it yet. It's on my Kindle. It's been on my Kindle for like 3 months now. I'm going to read it in the next 30 days. I hope. If I haven't tweeted about it and you follow me on Twitter, or if I haven't posted about it and you follow me on Instagram, can someone comment and be like, "Hey Megan, how's Marriage and Murder coming?" Because I need someone to be like, "You have to read this. You have to read this." I'm so one of these people, I don't like it when things end. And I don't think this is the end of this series, but I don't know that for sure. I haven't been following Reid very closely lately. I follow her on her socials, on my socials. But I just, you know, things have been going on. Life happens, and I've not been able to keep up with Reid like I had been previously. So, Marriage and Murder is book 2 in the Solving for Pie, I think is what it's called. Spin-off series of the Winston Brothers, which is a spin-off series of the Knitting in the City series, all by Reid. She has created this like universe of characters and locations and stuff. So if you're into stuff like that, I mean, like, look into it. But yeah, that's the first book, is Marriage and Murder. I'd like to read it. I don't know when I'm going to. The second book I want to talk about, or the second book I want to read in June, is The Gravity of Us by Brittany C. Cherry. This is apparently the 4th book in a series, and I didn't know this. Number one, I've never read Brittany C. Cherry. Ever. But I am always open to reading new things and trying new things. And Bree, over in 11 Words, I know you guys are probably like, "Megan, stop talking about Bree." But I can't do that. She's comforting to me. I love to watch her. But I she's the reason that I started reading the Winston Brothers series. So I trust Bree's recommendations because I devoured the first 3 for sure, the first 4 Winston Brother books. So when she talks about Brittany C. Cherry, with even more like, I don't know what word I'm trying to find. But the way she talks about Brittany C. Cherry tells me that I need to read these books, because if I trusted her opinion to read the Winston Brothers books, her Brittany C. Cherry recommendation should blow my socks off. So The Gravity of Us is the one that I've picked. It's the 4th book in a series, but from what I understand from the Goodreads section, or the Goodreads review section, it can be read as a standalone and you can read them in any order. So The Gravity of Us is the one that I plan to read first. I don't know anything about it. I'm kind of going into it blind, and I'm okay with that. I'm totally fine with that. I'm totally cool with that. Let's talk about the physical books. Do you guys want to talk about the physical books? Because I have to talk about the physical books because they're here. There's a pile in the floor, so hang tight. Alright, we're going to talk about these books. I start my video telling you guys that I mostly read romance books, and you need to know that a majority of the books you're getting ready to hear me talk about, I have reasons, and they probably won't get read in June, but I'm giving myself options. So, first and foremost, I found some of these books at Half Price Books. You guys haven't seen me haul them yet. You will see a book haul probably in July or August, because I just did March and April. I'll probably do like a May and June one, but I've not really bought, like physically purchased a ton of books. So anyway, that's rambling and you didn't need to know that. Let's talk about what I plan on reading this month. So I picked these 2 books. I'm going to talk about them together. I picked both of these books up at Half Price Books. So the first one is The Princess Diarist by Carrie Fisher. First of all, if you've seen my book haul, I think it's my book haul, I have on a t-shirt. I don't have on a nerd shirt today, and I'm like baffled. I'm baffled. But if you've not seen Tamika's vlog, my video, where I have on a nerd shirt, I have been a fan of Star Wars for a long time. Big Star Wars fan. But Carrie Fisher I think is fascinating, and her death hit me in a weird way. Princess Leia is my favorite Star Wars character. I love her. She holds a special place in my heart. Actually, you can't see it, but I have a Princess Leia Funko Pop over here. I also have a Ben Solo Funko Pop, but it's at work. I don't know what happened. We're not going to talk about it. Anyway, this is The Princess Diarist. Carrie Fisher started writing books. And in this book, she discovered the journal she kept during the filming of the first Star Wars movie. And it's a recollection of what happened on one of the most famous film sets of all time. The first Star Wars movie, A New Hope, episode 4, which it was not episode 4 when it came out, is my favorite. I love A New Hope. It is my favorite Star Wars movie. The fact that this is tidbits from that, this is the kind of stuff that I live for. Like, if they wrote books, like if I found out that Chris Evans or Sebastian Stan or Haley Atwell or like any of the people from the Captain America movies kept a book like this, I would read it in a heartbeat. I love it. I'm not upset that I found it at Half Price Books, just in case I don't read it. But I love her. And I also love her daughter Billy. I do like Billy also. But on top of that, I also found Carrie Fisher's Wishful Drinking. This talks about her bipolar disorder, all of the mental issues she had. It looks like it'll actually, like, it's really thin. It looks like it'll be a really, really quick read. It's the life ripped from the headlines. She kind of comes clean. This is her first memoir. And I'm super excited to read this because I love Carrie Fisher. I really do. She had a lot of issues, but I feel like at the end of the day, she was unapologetically herself. She was open about her mental health. You know, it wasn't a secret that Carrie had issues. And I appreciate that. I don't like the stigma surrounding it. That's why I talk about it on my channel. And the fact that Carrie Fisher was so open, I really, on top of her being in one of my favorite Tom Hanks movies, The Burbs. If you've never seen The Burbs, go watch that movie and thank me later. The movie's hilarious. But she also is my favorite Star Wars character, and just somebody that I look up to as a human. So Carrie Fisher's books are on my list to read, hopefully in June. It's my plan. This book I don't know if I'm going to get to because it's huge. It's massive. But it is Anthony Kiedis' Scar Tissue. You guys haven't seen my May wrap up yet, but I did read a biography last month. And I'm now very curious about more rock stars. I've heard really good things about this book. I've heard that this book is probably going to make me cry. I've also heard that Heavier Than Heaven is probably going to make me cry. Which is over here. It is not in my TBR, but it will be at some point this year. I want to read it at some point this year. So this is Scar Tissue. This is Anthony Kiedis talking about his time growing up. It says it's a story of dedication and debauchery, of intrigue and integrity, of recklessness and redemption. A story from a musical innovator who influenced a whole generation of musicians. I know some things about it. I talked to my cousin and her husband who have both read it, and I'm very curious to read this book. I'm very excited to read this book. But it's so big it may not get finished in June, but maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. I'm doing these in kind of a, not so much in order I want to read them, but in order of, so I started with the Kindle books. I moved on to the memoirs and the biographies. I have one thriller that I want to read this month, which is The Silent Patient. This is apparently about a girl or a woman who killed her husband, allegedly. I don't know if she did or not. And she can't talk. Alicia Burns, I swear I can read. Alicia Burnson's life is seemingly perfect. A famous painter married to an in-demand fashion photographer. She lives in a grand house overlooking a park in one of London's most desirable areas. One evening, her husband Gabriel returns home from work, and Alicia shoots him in the face 5 times and never speaks another word. Criminal psychotherapist Theo Faber is captivated by Alicia's story and jumps at the opportunity to work with her. His determination to get her to talk and unravel the mystery of why she shot her husband takes him down a path more unexpected, more terrifying than he ever imagined. A search for the truth that threatens to consume him. Shocking, thought-provoking, and deeply twisted, The Silent Patient is a spellbinding psychological thriller about violence, obsession, and the dark side of passion. I can get behind it. Did I know before that moment that that was in there? No. I had no idea. Tamika handed me this book when we went to Barnes & Noble. She said, you need to read this book. And I said, cool. She said, it's my favorite thriller of 2020. And I said, sweet, throw it on the stack. I knew nothing else about it. Just checking them. Now we have 4 romance books. These are physical. They may not end up being read physically if I can get my hands on the Kindle version or the audiobook version. But I do plan on reading these. And because I have them physically, I'm going to hold them up for you guys. So we have Makeup Breakup by Lily Menon. Annika made an app called Makeup that is like Google Translate for failing relationships, whereas Hudson made an app called Breakup. It's known as the Uber for breakups. So apparently it's a second chance also. So we'll find out. These as two rival app developers clash again and again and again. Annika finds herself drawn into Hudson's fast-paced, high-velocity, utterly shallow world. Only from up close, he doesn't seem all that shallow. Could it be that everything she thought about Hudson is completely wrong? Could the creator of Breakup teach her what true love's really about? You can't tell me that's not an interesting premise. Also, look how pretty. Just like, the cover's pretty. Do we need another reason to buy a book? Probably should have one. But look how pretty the cover is. You can hear the motorcycle. I apologize. I can't do anything about it. Next I have The 10 Rules for Faking It by Sophie Sullivan. Everly is a radio producer. Everly's best friend and DJ forgot to beat the mic as Everly ranted about Simon the Snake, her cheating ex. She pitches a podcast to her boss. I personally live by the motto, fake it till you make it. So, maybe she'll teach me something. You never know. Then we have Don't You Forget About Me by Mhairi McFarlane. I do realize I've been pronouncing her name wrong in every video I've ever discussed her in. But it is Mhairi McFarlane, and I learned that because I took the time to read something that had it broken down phonetically. I don't remember where I saw it, but I just happened to stumble upon it. Someone talking about Mhairi McFarlane, and I was like, I've been mispronouncing her name for months, and I feel so bad about it. It was unintentional, but we learn and we grow. Mhairi McFarlane. Don't You Forget About Me. This is a second chance romance. Lucas does not know, or I guess doesn't realize, that he had a thing with her. So, with Georgina. So she feels like she's not where she's supposed to be in life, and Lucas is farther in life than her, and it makes her feel insecure. I think that's how I'm interpreting the synopsis. I know nothing about this book, so we're gonna find out more. And last but not least, a book I've been very excited to read and just haven't yet. This is The Boyfriend Project by Farrah Rashaan. She's been catfished by a 3-timing jerk of a boyfriend and has gone viral online with that boyfriend's 2 other girlfriends, and they are now 3 best friends who make a pact to spend the next 6 months investing in themselves. No men or no dating. It's a workplace. It's a workplace romance. Why didn't no one tell me this was a workplace romance? Probably because you all didn't know that I like workplace romances. Do I think they're smart? Don't do it. I mean, like, you do you. I pass no judgment. I've done it. I just don't recommend it. But not everybody has a bad experience. So anyway, this is a workplace romance, and I'm excited to read it. Yeah, that's it. Those are the books that I plan on reading in the month of June. There will be more sprinkled in, especially now that I'm getting back in my audiobook kick, and I'm listening to roughly a book a day. I think today is the first time it's taken me really 2 days to listen to a book. And it's March 20, it is May 28th, and I started the book late yesterday, so I'm not that concerned. So, that being said, my camera battery is about to die. I will catch you guys in my next one. So until next time, be good to yourself, take care of yourself, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye!